Mo Amer here on our program. We just showed for the Roku audience and more a clip from the news show Mo, where again you are playing a Palestinian refugee in Houston. How much is this about you, Mo?
It's a lot of it is based on my life. I came to the States as a refugee free agent. I decided to commit myself to the United States. And then it took me 20 years to get my citizenship. So there's a lot of interesting stories and way to survive, working under the table while you're waiting for your paperwork to come through. And we just thought we'd explore a world where if I didn't find stand-up comedy at such a young age, and I still had to work under the table and find my way while trying to take care of my family after losing my father at a young age and juggling all these, psychological effects of fleeing war and assimilating in a new country.
How did you find stand-up? Or did it find you?
It's an interesting thing. Yeah, maybe both. I was 10 years old. My brother wanted to just get my mind off of things, and we went to the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, and they had live stand-up comedy, and that was the first time I ever saw it live.
Stand-up comedy in a livestock show?
At the Houston, they have the biggest concerts of the year at the rodeo for 3 weeks out of the year. Right. Some of the biggest artists come perform there, and it was at the Astrodome at that time.
At the old Astrodome.
At the old Astrodome.
Which still exists.
It still exists.
Whenever I've gone to NRG Stadium, is that what they still call it in Houston? I don't know if they changed the name or whatever.
Reliant,
Reliant, there you go. Gives you an idea of how long it's
been. It's the same company.
Right, same thing. So when you see the Astrodome next to it, I mean, that used to be one of the wonders of the world, as it was known. It looks like a little
pimple. Little pimple. It looks like a pimple next to it. It does.
Right.
You're like, what is this thing? Who's going to pop this thing? Or what are we doing with it?
So you did your first stand-up in the Astrodome?
No. That was the first time I saw stand-up. I was 10 years old, and in that moment, I knew I was going to be a stand-up comedian.
I see.
I looked at my brother. I was like, I'm going to be a comedian. And he was just like, yeah, okay.
So I guess your first stand-up act that you saw was in the Astrodome?
Absolutely, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
So then when did you first try it yourself?
I started when I was 14, 4 years later.
14?
Yeah, my father passed away, and I was just skipping school. I lost like a lot of purpose and just was finding myself, trying to figure it out. And I would always say, I'm going to be a stand-up comedian, So my English teacher, she's the one who brought me back in. She goes, how would your father feel if you don't graduate high school? Because you're on your way to fail miserably. I was like, that would be an awful thing. And she said, well, don't you want to be a stand-up comedian? I said, yes. She goes, I'll let you do stand-up every Friday if you stop skipping school. And she said, I'll give you also extra credit if you can mix in Shakespeare, because it was English class. And that's what I did, and I was doing it consistently every Friday for weeks. And then she took me to the theater arts department. She was like, hey, this kid's like doing all these different accents, original material I've never heard before. I think he belongs here. And then the following year, I was made like honorary thespian. I was lead roles in theatrical plays. She literally changed my whole life.
Yeah, thank God for her. What's her name?
Mrs. Reed. Mrs. Reed and Mrs. Broderick. It was both of them, actually.
Is she still with us?
She is still with us. We just recently reached out to her. So I spoke with Miss Broderick already, and I'm hoping to sit down and have a meeting and thank her personally.
Dude, that's amazing.
Yeah.
What a story.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. Mo Amer here on the Rich Eisen Show, and you just used the phrase free agent in referring to yourself, and that normally free agents or I guess kids who choose schools would choose a hat. Yeah. I noticed the hat in your clip was a 1994 Houston Rockets championship hat.
That's right.
Was that like one of your big childhood moments?
Of course. As a Muslim living in America, Elijah Wan was the guy, and he was so accessible to us. Like I would see him frequently at like Friday prayers, or he would just pop in. Yeah, he would just pop in. He was so generous. And my dad, actually, before he passed away, he took me to a Nigerian mosque. And it was one of my fondest memories before he passed. And that's where he got me to meet Hakeem and spend time with him. And he signed a bunch of stuff for me. And it was just like one of the most amazing days of my life.
How old were you then?
I was 13.
13. So just right before your dad passed and before you started with your stand-up.
Right. And so right after that, they won the first championship. Yeah. Like literally that year, basically. Right after he passed away, my dad, yeah.
Okay.
It was crazy.
So Drexler, he's your guy too?
Drexler's the guy, of course. Yeah. All those Robert Ory, Sam Cassell, Kenny Smith.
Is that a Mo Ellie situation too?
Yeah.
Trying to go in my head right now.
Vernon Maxwell.
I was on the other end of that stick,
Yeah.
Mo Amer, living in New York, being a New Yorker, being a Knicks fan. I was at the very end. So you're welcome for John Stark's shooting night.
Yeah, no problem. I remember that block. And OJ Simpson interrupting that finals. Who's the worst?
Gosh, I was actually in Chicago at my my graduate school graduation from journalism school.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Okay, I had just graduated from Northwestern School of Journalism.
Great school.
And we were in. Thank you. And I was in a bar. With my family was there, and a bunch of other classmates' families were there.
Right.
And the Knicks were playing a huge ass game against the Rockets. And I remember standing at the screen. You'll like this being a comic. I just decided to crack wise as the whole bar was like dead silent, watching on the screen as the white Ford Bronco was being chased.
Yep.
And then the Knicks were on the, on the other box. It was like a 2-box situation.
Yeah. It was the first time you saw picture in picture.
Exactly. It was picture in picture. Yeah. And I just remember standing there in the bar as everyone was like dead silent. And I just decided to do this. I was screaming, "That was a flagrant foul!" Like, what the hell? And people started like whipping their head towards me like, "What is your problem?" I'm like, "It's the finals."
Yes.
I don't care what the hell's happening in Los Angeles.
Zero.
I just decided to do that.
The feeling was mutual. We were just completely yelling at the screen the entire time. It was like, who cares? It's rich people just driving 40 miles an hour on the highway. Like, I don't care.
He did it.
He did it. They're all behind him. Like, just get it over with.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Olajuwon blocking John Starks. I remember that. That 3-point attempt.
They were great. That was it. That was it. That was like Pat Riley's best shot at winning with the Knicks, and the Knicks' best shot at winning with Jordan not being around. I mean, that was it. And,
well, he did come back that second season. This is the whole beef that I have as a Houston Rockets fan, winning back-to-back championships. They're like, Jordan wasn't there. Well, he technically was, and they lost to the Orlando Magic. And Orlando got swept by the Houston Rockets. It was that big comeback in Game 1 that flipped everything. They never recovered.
But so we'll never know what it was.
I really wish that he was there fully, like they had the full season. I wish because I believe that Hakeem Olajuwon was Jordan's kryptonite. Like they didn't play well against him. Vernon Maxwell played him aggressively, and it was always a good match. I really, really wish. I think it would have been their first L in the finals. I really believe that.
The Last Dance would have been a totally different documentary.
Yeah, it would have been. It would have been.
I mean, Mo Amer here on the Rich Eisen Show, and you're an Astros fan as well?
I am a big Astros fan. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know.
That's all right. I'm a Yankee fan. And
yeah. You guys cheat too. It's fine. Hey, whoa. I'm just beating you to it. And I didn't even mean the two. We never cheated. You guys cheated for sure. Man, Astros all the way, baby.
I'm not going to ask you to take your shirt off.
Hey, I'll take my shirt off, bro. I'm ready. I got shirt and shirt, baby. Just like that. OJ said picture in picture. I got shirt on the shirt.
You got a shirt and a shirt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Boy.
Mo, I got a chance to talk to Michael Jordan once and ask him about that, about if he wouldn't have left with the Rockets.
You asked him this very question.
Yeah, and his reply was,
"Get away from me. Who are you?"
No, because that's my man. Me and Mike. Right. He was like, "No, F no, no." That was his response. But he didn't kind of went and said, we couldn't do anything with Hakeem those years, so it would have been interesting. But I don't think
at least he was honest enough to say that at the end. But if I was Michael Jordan, I would say the same thing. I was like, nobody could beat us. That's the mentality you had to be.
Yeah.
A psychopath that won, like, he's not a psycho, you know what I mean by it. Like, you have to be that focused and that just over the top all the time after we watched that documentary. Just made it all very clear and how you actually win 6 championships without ever losing.
I just find it interesting that, I brought up the Astros. I said I was a Yankee fan, and you said you cheat too.
No, I didn't mean to. I said you guys cheat. I said you guys cheat.
And I didn't mention the word cheating.
I was waiting for you to have it, okay? I was waiting for it. This happens all the time on sports shows, okay? This happens all the time, Rich. Don't try to set me. I was beating you to the punch. I was doing what Eminem did in 8 Mile, okay? Say something about me that they don't know.
You went to Cranbrook. That's
what you got, Rich. That's it. Papa Doc.
I had no idea that's what was happening.
Yeah.
I had no idea at all. all, because I was going to talk about how the Yankees can't get Altuve out, and Alex Bregman, wears number 2 because he's a Jeter fan and his dad is a Yankee fan, and if Bregman, had his way deep down, he would be a Yankee. I was going to mention that. I was going to mention that, the Yankees took the wrong Astro pitcher. I think they should have taken Verlander and not Cole. What else was I going to talk about?
Wow. I think you're all making this up on the fly now to make me feel terrible.
But no.
There was a pause that you had, and you were looking around. So
No.
Yeah. Unless you're putting out a trap, and I just jump right into it.
No. Bregman gets upset with me whenever I talk about it this way, and he's a friend of the program. No, I again, but in all seriousness, I didn't telegraph what I was going to say to you, because if you did, you'd have heard a bang first, and you'd have been able to expect what was coming.
Stupid.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I was not really prepped as I should have been prepped.
Maybe you just didn't hear it over the noise.
I felt
it.
I felt it, Rich. Astros never cheated. They're the greatest team of our generation.
I'm with you, Mo. Actually, I don't care about it.
I think they all should do steroids, honestly.
Well, I mean, you talk about. Did you take your Apple Watch off before you said that?
I'm wearing it right
now.
now.
He's a Red Sox fan with his Apple Watch on. So I guess we're all in the same boat here.
Do we want to talk about Carlos Beltran, Yankees assistant coach,
I know.
and all that stuff? Okay.
Well, or New York Met manager for 2 seconds, Carlos Beltran. He's a Met fan in the corner.
Oh my God, I didn't know.
We're all okay. So let's all back off. Let's all
go
back to our corners.
Everybody, put your guns away.
We're all in a glass house with a bunch of stones.
We all like Eddie Guerrero. We lie, cheat, and steal to get it done.
I was going to say I'm hoping that somebody knocks off the Astros before the Yankees might have to face them.
I got you.
I am truly hoping for that, because I don't know how.
It's not looking good.
It is not, because the Astros look tremendous.
Yeah.
Dusty Baker has just got it all on the straight and narrow for them, and he's.
That's true. In the regular season, I'm hoping that he,
I think you're good.
Sticks in.
I think it's, and then of course if it's Astros Dodgers here in Los Angeles,
it's going to be huge.
I mean, they were booing everybody here at the All-Star game because that's when you might hear about the thing.
Well, I'll be there.
You will be.
Oh, hell yeah. They make the series here or anywhere. I always go. I went last year. I hit it up. I was actually filming the show at the same time that was going on. And we would just I'd finish everything. I'd book it, get in the car, and just go straight to the game. Usually got there by the second inning. Yeah. I went to all the games.
Okay.
They were home,
All right. It's a real deal.
Unfortunately, that last one, too. That 7-run thing.
Okay.
That was brutal.
I know. Can't win them all. So we'll see what happens this year.
It's a great ballpark, too, man. The Juice Box, man, Minute Maid Park is just a great place to go watch baseball.
The old Enron?
Yeah. Yes. See what I'm saying?
I'm sorry.
See what I'm saying? I knew it.
I should rephrase that.
Oh, yeah.
Let me rephrase it. The old Enron?
Yeah. Oh, man, the Juice Box, baby. The Juice Box. Is this how you guys treat your guests around here? I'm Arab, man. When you have a guest from out of town, it's just everything he wants to say and talk about is right,
Excuse me. The fact that you're mentioning that here on this program, the way I treat my guests, I'm a Jew on Yom Kippur interviewing an Arab, okay? So I think we're good.
Trying to bring the world together, man.
Touche. Well played.
So I think, again, let's just all settle down.
Oh, you're going to love episode 5 of my series. I can't wait. You're going to love it. Oh, I can't tell you. You got to watch it.
Okay.
I'm on that 3 right now, so
I 3 is an emotional one.
Everybody better check out Mo streaming now on Netflix. And Black Adam, that is coming out October 21.
Yep.
You got a good Dwayne Johnson story? Anything you got from him?
He's just a beast, dude. He's such a great guy. Yeah, the first time I met him, everybody was just calling him different names. Some people call him DJ, some call him Rock, some call him Dwayne. I walked up to him, I was like, hey, man, so what do I call you? He goes, Daddy. I was like, I didn't skip a beat. I was like, Papa? You know what I mean? Like, hey, I get adopted by The Rock. I'm all in, bro. Every day.
Call me Daddy. That's awesome.
Hysterical. I was like, oh, you got jokes. So from then on, it was just, every time we saw each other, it was just busting balls the whole time.
That is amazing.
Which was great. It's just how comedians live. And I feel like he desires to be a stand-up comedian deep down.
Okay.
Did Pierce it's the one thing he can't do.
Did Pierce Brosnan have the same reaction when you said, what do I call you?
Pierce is man, he is a really special human being. I was so excited because he's like my 007 of my era. Yeah, he's my Bond, right? And I was so jacked up to be doing my scene. It was the first scene he filmed in the movie was with me, and I was so pumped up that I forgot to memorize my line. I was just like, oh man, Pierce, and I met him, and he was so kind and sweet, and getting jacked up. I was like, maybe I should go read these lines real quick. I mean, I read them a long time ago. It was so easy to do. It was fine, but it was just one of those moments that he's just such a legend, and he lives up to, man, beyond your expectations.
That is
he's so cool, man.
And Aldous Hodge has been on the show as well.
Yeah, that's my guy.
He's
and
terrific.
Pierce and I played a ton of golf, too, when we were in Atlanta. We just had a great time and just bonded. There was no pun intended there. Hey! We just had
Tell me, is this handicap 007?
Come on now. He'll be here all week.
Jokes too.
How does he do it? Volume.
What is it like playing golf with Pierce Brosnan?
It was just, we just had so much fun, man. It was just so relaxed. This guy's like, he's really in the moment all the time. All the time. He's always taking these deep breaths and he's going, life. You know, like he's doing that. And I
on
just
the golf course?
On the golf course, little breeze everywhere. He's just always like taking deep breaths and really conscious of it and just fun. I'm not gonna disclose everything, but yeah, we had a great time.
Does he focus on his, like, that's how he gets ready to putt?
No, it's just like in general, he's just so in the moment all the time.
Okay.
You know? I've rarely met people like that. They were just so like aware of their surroundings so much and just like aware of his breath and his how he speaks to people, and he and I got real close.
Well, only if there was any good quality marketing around Black Adam, I'd say that the thing's got a shot at
I think it's got a shot. Yeah, The Rock is a superhero. I think it's going to do, and really just completely objectively, just watching him perform live while we're filming it, you know, DJ and all the cast, really, we got along so well, but it's definitely his best work.
Awesome.
Yeah.
MoAmer.com for dates and tickets for your tour. You're also touring as well. You're going to be right here in L.A., the Ford, and then the Irvine Improv. Those are October 20th through the 23rd. San Jose Improv on November. Man, you are blowing up. Congratulations to you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank God for that teacher.
Yeah.
What a story.
She's an incredible woman, man.
Well, my parents are both educators, so I grew up with teachers, and that means a lot to me to hear this story like that.
Oh, man, it means a lot to me, too. I'm going back to my high school, actually, and going to donate a bunch of money to yeah, I am. I'm going to go back to my high school, give a bunch of money to the theater arts department, and try to empower these kids and let them know that it's doable. You know, here's me, I'm standing here, you can touch me, you know that it's really achievable, and you can do it too.
Yeah, and you can have your own show on Netflix, and you can go play golf with Pierce Brosnan, and you can go,
hang with The Rock.
Be Mo Amer. Hang with The Rock.
That's
hang with
it.
The Rock. Daddy. Come
Daddy,
on.
yeah.
What he's supposed to. Hang with Daddy.
That's
hang
right.
with Daddy.
And come on the Rich Eisen Show.
That's sure. At Real Mo Amer on Twitter. Well, yeah, you got to telegraph it. That's the only way he hears it.
That's right.
At Mo Amer on Instagram. Again, Mo is available for streaming right now only on Netflix. Check it out. Thanks for coming on.
Oh, man, thank you for having me.
Anytime.
It's an honor, man.
Let's do more.
I love it. I'm in.
Come on during the World Series.
I would love to do that.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Mets Astros. Let's do this.
Mets Astros.
Oh, my God. I can't wait for Houston to beat another New York team in the final in the World Series. That's what I'll be looking forward to.
Well, that buzzer means we're out of time.
All of a sudden, we cut to, and it's interrupted by Kanye West in a Bronco just fleeing with his children. No, is that too soon?
That might be next, actually, Mo.
God, I hope not.